Professor of US and International Politics at the Clinton Institute of University College Dublin. Thank you so much for joining us from London this evening. Professor Lucas, let me quickly cut to the chase. How do you actually see Vice President JD Vance's visit shaping the trajectory of India-US relations in the context of the ongoing tariff war with China?
Let me be very honest with you and your viewers. This, in effect, is like, if we call the Trump administration kind of an organized family, kind of an organized business family, this is like someone coming and saying, we'll offer you protection, but we want you to pay us some money. In other words, what the Trump administration is trying to do initially by slapping on that 26% tariff on India at the start of April, then in this period where it's been reduced to 10% for 90 days, is to say, all right, give us reduced tariffs on US products, give us reduced tariffs on, for example, our agricultural products, despite the objections from India's farmers. Indeed, as you were showing your viewers, give us a 0 for 0 deal on tariffs. Now, there are reasons why India has maintained a tariff rate of about 11 to 12% on average on US products. And the Trump guys are saying, look, we want you to strip all of that away. It's easy to say that it can be done with a trade deal, and both sides are saying trade deal. It is much tougher to get to a trade deal in practice.
So how significant is the US administration's push for 0 for 0 tariffs that you were just talking about in the broader context of global trade negotiations, and why might India resist this?
Yeah, what's significant is that it's not part of an organized Trump strategy across the board. So, for example, the European Union offered the Trump administration a 0 for 0 months ago. And the Trump administration simply said, no, we don't want that. And that's because the Trump administration actually, their so-called tariffs are economic nonsense. That magic chart that Donald Trump held up, all those numbers didn't actually correspond to reality. So you have to look at it more as the US going to each individual country and seeing what it can sort of shake out of them in terms of concessions. Now, of course, India is going to be looking not only at the United States, but they're going to be looking at this US-China tariff war, with the US now at 145% tariff on Chinese products. And India is thinking, can we protect ourselves from that, not only by reaching a deal with the United States, but hoping that our supply chains aren't disrupted.
Professor Lucas, thank you so much for your time. Your expertise clearly shedding light on these key developments that help us better understand this evolving global landscape. Thank you so much for your time and your perspective.
And thank you and your viewers.